It's been a while since I sang that song, and my voice has changed a little bit since then. But it's such an awesome song where I get to pour out all my vocals into it.
Just being a kid itself is a lot of work, and also having all the homeworks and going to school. Like, how do you guys do this? Like, what are some of like the up moments? Do you have any down moments?
Yeah, how we deal with a lot of those things is, we like to, organize our time, because time is very important, how you spend your time in your day. We usually, we focus on school early in the morning, and, we get that done, and, we move on to the next thing. I think it really works out pretty great for us.
Wow. Amy, did you just hear that? Time management. Plan your day so you can arrive early.
Well, you're definitely right. I can really relate. I cannot relate, but I can learn something from it because you guys, I don't manage my time well. I don't sleep at all just because I have so much on my plate. I sometimes just sleep for 3 hours.
You can imagine it like if we were one person, it would be kind of difficult to do like what we do every day, right? So a part of that is just that like we each like have our own parts. We have our own things that we do in the day that like contribute to the group as a whole, right? Because for example, like I'm the creative guy, so I kind of like pop out ideas while Seth, he's the one who kind of like pulls everything together. So he makes like the final decision in most things that we do. And then Zachary, I guess Zachary's kind of like that inspiration. So he's the one that kind of is actually leading our image. So he handles that, and so like I guess we were just working together.
Okay, maybe we could learn something from this sisters, Jay and Jay, you've been good. Ole, you okay? Yesterday you kind of disappeared, and then Amy.
What? Come on. It's all about delegation, and I think, yeah, you can learn a lot from what you just said, right?
No, how do you feel? Like, let's say if they're supposed to do something, they show up and they do it, right? They all lift their own bags, right?
Well, I guess like sometimes we do slack off. Like it's kind of really hard to get them to listen sometimes, but yeah, but I guess like we know that like there's something at the end of the road every day, so we know when we need to like get up, and we know when we need to focus on what we need to do. So we motivate each other, and we look out for each other too. So.
And I'm sure, Mike, when you delegate tasks, you let them actually perform it, right? Like, you're not a micromanager. Like, oh, you're gonna do it in step A, B, and C, not A, C, B, and D, right?
I haven't needed to go that far yet. But, no, yeah.
Give it to him. Because they're all delivering. Ole, please learn something.
No. Amy, can you back me up here? I think what Marcus just said was that she allowed them to be their own creative self, right? Not a micromanager.
Yeah, not a micromanager, like someone we know with a name that starts with J, but we don't talk about the name because there's two J's. So you can't say I'm talking to you or you because the name just starts with a J.
Whatever. Anyway. So I'm gonna receive it. But speaking of pressure, because I feel the pressure now. Speaking of pressure, how do you guys feel in terms of the pressure that comes with this? Because it's a huge responsibility. Because the moment you start to deliver, and which you guys have been, it comes with a huge responsibility to continue to deliver every day.
There's gonna be pressure coming around from all sides, right? And I guess like what's important to have is to have that team, that support, because when you're alone in the industry, sometimes it can be very hard. And I guess I'm grateful for what my brothers do and having them around.
How is it like with the social media and knowing all the pressure from social media?
Yeah, there's a bit of pressure, you've got to keep up with your fans. A lot of times, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, everything, but I think we handle it pretty well because, we all got to learn how to do it. So it kind of takes up some weight there and it kind of equals it out.
That's great. I'm trying to learn about social media myself because I was not into Facebook. Every time I tried to help because she's like, oh no, I'm not going to give you the account information. I'll wake up one day and have a social media account. So, but I'm still learning. They just have to trust me that maybe one day I can erase it and we'll start over again. It's all about learning.
She helps out a lot. Jay is great. Ole is good too. You guys just have to talk to the other sister on the other side with the short hair today, when sometimes she comes up with the long hair.
Becky with the long hair.
Oh, Becky with the...
No. You see, Ule like to say things that she doesn't even know. It's not Becky with the long hair, it's Becky with the good hair.
No, but I'm saying I'm making it my own. I said Becky with the long hair.
Oh, but today it's Becky with the short hair. Anyway.
Guys, I'm just amazed. I almost feel like I'm in a leadership class right now. The skills that you describe are like time management, support system. Those are excellent skills to have. And I'm just amazed that you guys at such a young age already have that. And I'm sure that's going to take you guys a long, long way. What advice do you have for parents out there that may have talented kids that want to get them into whether it's music or whatever creativeness they have?
To all the parents out in the world, who have kids, you just have to, really watch and observe what your kids are doing, the interesting things that they really like to do. For example, it could be sports, they really like math or science, or they're really good in music. You just got to watch really closely, pay attention. That's the word. Pay attention to what your kids do, because that can help them to find something that they really love, that they're great in, right?
That's wonderful.
That's excellent. That's a great advice.
Especially for us Africans. We are from Africa. I don't know if we told you guys. Speaking of where we are from, your parents are from the islands, right?
Yeah, they're from the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Caribbean.
Beautiful, yeah. So we're from Africa, so the culture tend to be a little bit different from the West, I would say, like from America and so on. A lot of parents really don't allow their children to just, foster or nurture their craft or their talent, right? It's almost like go to school, learn, and become a doctor or become a lawyer. We've said this many times here. It's great to be a doctor and a lawyer, but also I feel like the world should be diverse and every child should be allowed to kind of follow their path and stuff. For me, I remember when I was younger, I don't know if you guys know this, around 14 or 15, I remember during the summer, I went to intern at a radio station as an internship. Like, I don't know if you guys remember. And I think, yeah, you do remember? Okay. And my mom, she didn't want me to do it. She told me, she told me that basically I talk a lot and I don't need to be talking a lot on the radio and stuff. I need to be quiet and like go and study, right? And go take summer classes. But I still snuck out and would go and try to do the internship at the radio for whatever reason. But look where we ended up here today, the sister show.
As a parent, we always want the best for our kids. So we just assume, we always think if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an accountant, that's the best thing to do because that's what we know. Back home, if you're a musician, it's hard for you to actually prosper because maybe there wouldn't be that much support. But in the West, we all see how many musicians are really doing great and excelling in the production. And I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to let parents have an open mind and be able to pay attention to their kids early on in life and help them excel in everything or anything that they want to do.
It's most parents, it's all that they know. It's that you have to get a good job, you have to be a doctor or a lawyer, but sometimes it requires that you just about getting the understanding from somewhere else that your child doesn't have to be a doctor, they don't have to be a lawyer, and that something else, they can do something else that they love.
I think that really speaks about passion, because if you're not passionate about something, you're really not gonna excel in it, no matter how much time and effort you put in it, you just are not going to excel in it. And the ultimate goal here is to actually be successful, right? And to actually succeed in life. However you define that success, it is up to you.
It's about loving what you do, right? So if you're waking up every day, whatever you may be doing, whether it's music, whether you work as a doctor, lawyer, whatever your path may be, just making sure that you love it, and then that propels to you excelling and being the best that you could be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of you guys, but then what do you guys think about a lot of parents have a better understanding of what could possibly be if you follow this path and then nothing works out, or if you don't do the basics in life and that's why they give us so much guidance to say, do this, do this, do this, even though I think Africans overdo it normally. But what do you guys say to that point?
To give them credit for the parents back home, I think it's just what they have and what they know best. That these are the people in society that are successful. So for them, they just want you to be successful. So that's the area that they push you to go forward.
If you don't really give the other side the opportunity, like how would you know that, oh, this is where only success is? How are we going to see the world to be balanced if we don't have plumbers, we don't have carpenters, we don't have, you know, musicians to entertain us, comedians to make us laugh? Just allow their kids just be kids. And then once you start seeing them go astray, that's when guidance come into place. But that does not necessarily mean that you are going to basically dictate them, just not allowing that kid to just see life for themselves.
The easiest thing for most parents is, yeah, just go get an education, because that's kind of like the traditional way of doing things. And so I think a lot of parents are usually scared of the unknown. Like, okay, if you're going to be in music or sports, and also the chances of people that are in music or sports succeeding is lower, right? For the brothers, they're like very, very talented. So of course, for them, I'm sure like their parents saw that earlier on.
I really love what you're saying, I completely see where you're coming from. But the thing is, I think what everyone needs, or what parents need, is information, and I guess that information from the outside can tell you that there isn't really one way to success. Like success isn't something that is something that's forced. Success is supposed to be a journey, right? And I guess that's what our parents did with us. They were willing to go with the ups and the downs, and they saw and they looked at the little things we liked. And I guess it requires that you give up something so that things can happen.
And if I may, I agree with what you're saying, Marcus. And I think I see what Ole is trying to say. A lot of parents want safety, right? And sometimes as an artist, as also if you're creative, safety is not something you think about, right? Because you just go with the flow and you go with your passion, because that's actually what drives you. But I think with a lot of African parents, they want something more for security and safety, like, okay, then do this. But normally the people that will follow that path, right, they kill their creative spirits or their talents.
Well, I really understand what you're saying, and it really flows with me really well. And yeah, the only thing that was different is that, you know, our parents, whatever we went through, you know, we were able to, you know, cope with it because we were able to be prepared. And, you know, our parents allowed us to prepare for any outcome of what happens, because you know, a lot of people, especially our friends, have told us, like, it won't be easy going through the journey that you're about to go in, right? So we had to prepare, we had to spend the time on our gifts so that we're prepared for any outcome.
Zach, I really like what you said about preparing you for whatever outcome happens, right? The outcome could be good, it could be bad, but for you guys, it turned out great, right? But having that mentality, getting into things and just knowing that you have to prepare, that it could go either way, you know, it's also a good startup for someone who's so young, have talents, and because I can really believe in you, and then you go through some, like a competition like the one you went to, I bet there was like awesome, amazing talents out there, but not everybody could come out and be a winner like you are. But a lot of young people should definitely kind of put that into consideration, and even adults themselves. Sometimes we are very hard on ourselves if things don't go the way we like, but I think that was a great point. You really are talented. How many instruments do you play, you said?
I play 12 different instruments, yeah.
What instruments are these? I want to hear this.
Well, I play the piano, the drums, the guitar, the bass guitar. I play the conga drums, the cello. I play the violin. I play the harmonica, the steel pan. I play
double bass.
I play the double bass. I sing, and I play the guitar.
Whoa.
These are our instruments and forever Wale's instruments.
One thing Zachary forgot to mention was that he has perfect and relative pitch.
And it's clear that none of my sisters have that, unfortunately. And I don't even think they knew. They only probably knew like 3 instruments: piano, drum, and guitar, and myself too. From being
I
honest.
think I knew 80% of what he's like the instruments he named. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
No.
Shocking, right?
Just because she doesn't know how to sing, that doesn't mean she will not know the name of the instruments.
Exactly.
Here you go, Dr. J, taking sides. Okay, on talking about sides, who feels left out sometimes?
Because when Mark and Seth go to see movies, and I don't really go to places that they go, and I'm kind of short too. So-
I feel like the middle child is always like the attention seeker. Is that true here?
Well, not really. Zach, I think Zach is the
No,
attention
he's the
seeker.
troublemaker.
And that's why I think he's the attention seeker. They cause trouble, but they're a little bit sneaky the way they do it. Parents will think that he is the most innocent and he doesn't even have a clue, but he's the instigator. Like I can totally see.